Hey guys, this is Ernesto and welcome back to yet another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm having a wonderful day. So I'm going to walk you guys through a photo shoot that I did today. Hopefully it's helpful to you and hopefully it inspires you. So let's get straight into it.
I'm addicted to the love that you're giving. Every minute, every day I've been craving. I don't wanna get you out of my system, no, cause I like the way it feels when you touch me. You got me good. You got me good. Oh babe, all I'm thinking about is when you come around.
Alright guys, so welcome back. So let's get straight into this. So this photo shoot for me, I don't know why, but it was extremely hard for me to get started on this photo shoot. It took me literally, I think about maybe 20 or 30 minutes to get into the groove of this photo shoot. Initially, when I got on the scene, I put the subject against a wall. I took a couple of frames, which I'm gonna show you guys, and I wasn't feeling it at all. I tried to experiment by repositioning the light, which I'll show you guys that as well. That didn't work. So I was just trying a couple of different things and I was not happy with the results of this first setup. So after giving that first setup, the 20 to 30 minutes effort, I abandoned that effort and I went on to another setup where I put the subject in the middle of this corridor and behind the subject was just the pure sky. So I took another frame of the subject and again, I was not happy with that setup. Now, when we got to this scene, I only brought one light, which was my Godox AD200 light with me, and I brought one modifier. And I quickly realized the reason I wasn't really feeling any of these shots is because I wasn't really getting much separation between the subject and the background. Now, did I really need that separation? Not really, but in my head, when I was looking at these images, it just wasn't coming together for me. So what I guess I wanted to say to you guys, it's totally okay to question your images while you're on the scene. Don't ever be, satisfied with what you're seeing. If you think there's something there that's just not right, always push yourself to see what is it that you could change to make that image even better. So for me, I just ran back to the car and I ran back and I got my Godox AD600 light, which I replaced my AD200 that I had with the Godox AD600. And then I made the Godox AD200 a rim light and I put a gel on that light just to give it a little bit of color. And that acted more as a rim light for the subject. So now it became, instead of a one light setup, became a two light setup. And the combination of those two lights with where the subject was allowed me to really enjoy that image a lot more. All right guys, so now let's talk about the second setup. So the second setup, we really didn't move from where we were. We were still in the same corridor. What I wanted to do here was have the cross in the background, a little bit out of focus, and then have our subject in the foreground. So because it was a cross, I wanted to be a little bit more playful with it. And what I wanted to do with the subject was basically to have her be a little bit more suggestive, a little bit more sensual with the pose and how she was positioning herself. So I instructed the subject to be a little bit more sensual and I posed her in a very simple way because I wanted to be more of a little bit more of a contrast between what was going on in the background and a contrast between our subject. The two things really didn't go well, right? So there's a little bit of tension there, and that's what I was trying to go for. So That is all I did here. And I also utilized the 2-light setup as well. Same exact 2-light setup as before, using the AD600 as the main light in the softbox, the Easy Lock 28-inch softbox. And I'm also using the Godox AD200 with the gel in the background for a rim light. So yeah, this image I really enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Now, this particular setup was extremely difficult for me to capture. I don't know why, but it was extremely difficult. The reason being, I wasn't enjoying the images. Just like at the beginning of this photo shoot, I wasn't enjoying the images. When I showed it to the subject, the model, she said, you know, I was being way too picky on myself, but I really was not enjoying those images. It was just not right. The light mostly was not right. So what I decided to do was leave the setup exactly the way it was. So let me just explain really briefly how the setup was initially. So obviously I was having the softbox, which is the Godox AD600 with the Easy Lock softbox facing the subject, and I was shooting towards the subject to, you know, create a nice shot. And then I had the Godox AD200 with no modifiers at all, acting as a rim light behind the subject. So as I was taking these shots, I was like, yeah, they're okay, but it wasn't, you know, I wasn't really feeling them. So I immediately just said, you know what, let's just switch, let's leave everything the way they are. So leaving the softbox where it is, leaving the Godox AD200 where it is, and just have the subject turned around, and I just changed my direction. So in other words, I wasn't shooting the subject using the Godox AD600, which was the Easy Lock softbox, as my main light anymore. I was now using the Godox AD200 with the gel, with no modifiers, as my main light. And when I had the subject turned around and I started taking those shots, then I really started to enjoy those images as opposed to the images that I was capturing before. So what I would say, guys, is if you're really not feeling your images, have your subjects turn around and maybe you might enjoy those images from that different angle. And the one thing I would say about this setup, as with all photo shoots that I do, I always walk away with at least maybe one image from a photo shoot that I enjoy. At least one. And for this particular photo shoot, I really walked away from this particular setup with one image that I really enjoyed from this setup, from this entire photo shoot. All right, so now let's talk about this next setup. So for this next setup, it was pretty much pitch dark, right? So now that it was pitch dark, I really had to use the lights to help add the mood to these images. So what I did was, again, using the same exact lights that I had before, which is the Godox AD200, no modifiers on there, just a gel. I took that light and I put that light behind my subject, which was underneath its stairs. The purpose of putting the light behind the subject, I wanted to light up the wall and to add a little bit of mood and texture to that wall by having the light just blast on the wall. Now, I didn't want that light to be hitting the subject, so that's why I didn't turn the light around to hit the subject's back. So once I had that light dial in, that was perfect. The next thing was just basically getting the main light on the subject dialed in. Once the main light on the subject was dialed in, the last thing I had to do was just add a little bit of pose to this image. Now, the pose wasn't anything crazy. It was very simple and to the point. And the only thing that really forced this pose to happen is the stairs of where the subject was. And I just simply directed her to put her hands up and on the stairs, and that was about it. And we just played with that a little bit more and we got these images. All right guys, so this is the last setup in this photo shoot. Now, we were pretty much wrapped up because like I said, it was like pitch dark outside now and we were wrapping up. But then I noticed some nice color in the sky and I tried to quickly set up everything again so I could grab this shot. I tried a couple of times and you know when you have a nice color in the sky, you know, at that time of the day where you have that nice sunset and that, you know, that color could go really, really quickly. And pretty much that's what happened. It went like really, really quickly. And I just didn't get enough time to dial in the image, well, not the image, but the light to what I wanted. So it became very contrasty, which lended to more of a black and white finish as opposed to using it for a color finish. Now, had I got my light proper, you know, had I got it set up properly, I would have used it for a color image, but I really ended up using these as black and white. But that was it. The pose, again, pretty simple, nothing crazy, because I was just trying to grab you know, that color, which really didn't happen. I mean, I did get it, but I just didn't like the image, the final image in color. I preferred it more in black and white because it was a little bit more contrasty. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy this image. All right guys, so that is it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope it inspires you guys to go out there and create your own images. Guys, it's not every photo shoot you're gonna walk away with amazing images. On this photo shoot, I only walked away with one image that I liked. I won't ever call it amazing. It's just one image that I liked. But when you're on a photo shoot, your goal, or my goal, is to make sure that I at least walk away with one image that I like, okay? And that effort is gonna force you to become better at your craft. Because if you're not forcing yourself to create at least a minimum of one image on every photo shoot that you like, then all you're doing is just pushing a button. You just have to push yourself to be creative and you will get over any type of blocks that's in your head, and you will get over it and you will create your images that you like, okay? I wouldn't say amazing, like I said before, but your images that you like, okay? All right, guys, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it was helpful to you, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Put some comments down below, let me know what you think. Share this video with your friends and family. And guys, if you got this far in this video and you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Well, you're not forced to hit the subscribe button, but if you do, hit the subscribe button and then hit that bell notification so you can get all the notifications whenever I release a video. All right, guys. So until then, I will talk to you guys on the next video. Take care.